on the fix, right? I talk about the song that Skilly Bang released for Ivany.
Feel away.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
Car by right. Better let me sing that car. Him don't know my sings.
You build up my sex drive, so you know for beg right. Skin it out like IVA.
And for those that don't know, Ivany and Nance did their way back. Long before meeting them big boss. You get me, I said them normally date. So basically what Nance is saying that he's the one that should be singing the song because him and the person will enter Ivany. You get me, I say him and enter, like when you pull the door, you enter somewhere. Him and the person enter and not Skilly Bang. But him change him out same time and I say, yo, it's the dancehall industry, so anything is possible.
Then again, but we don't know what going to dancer. This is dancer.
True.
But for what we know so far, things killing if you say no about that song there and let me sing it, cause remember real music we are singing. You understand what I say?
But people only think says Skilly Bang know him I talk about. Or him just base it off of the OnlyFans video. Only think about it. And next thing too, we'll do a quick. Alright, so Skilly Bang released a song titled Ivany. And most of them hear the song already, some of them have played it. And in basically I tell them where Ivany are going with in our OnlyFans. You get me I say, so this was released 5 days ago. 228k views. You get me I say, and most people are speculating that have Skilly Bang been through Ivany door before? You get me I say, is Skilly Bang the first subscription or the first big money spent on Ivany OF? You know, and then on the other hand, people say, oh, Skilly Bang is so versatile that once a topic come up, he might the first person can jump on it. You get me I say, same like the song I'm sing about. The plane is long with the coke. You get me I say? So the plane literally land today. And by nightfall, Skilly Bang release a song the same time. You get me? So that is how lyrical Skilly Bang is. But alright, so welcome back to another installment of Speak Your Mind TV. And today we have to talk about Vybz Kartel situation. Alright, so Vybz Kartel recent negotiation with the Trinidad and Tobago promoter has caused a big issue on how much is a dancehall artist really worth. You get me? So most people are saying that Vybz Kartel are worth so much. Most people are saying that them aren't know, so they should receive the same amount of money that Vybz Kartel is getting.
Was to perform, right? Because Kartel wasn't going to be able to perform. And that artist and his management said, listen, we are now the headliners for the show because Kartel won't be here. So we need the money that you were going to give Vybz Kartel.
Yeah.
But what them don't understand is the reason why Vybz Kartel charge so much is because of the high in demand and the pulling power. You understand what I say? Because without pulling power, there's no way a promoter can make back his money. You get me I say? And the fact that Vybz Kartel is one of the most highest demanding artists right now is definitely gonna worth a lot of money. And as Vybz Kartel always say, if you don't have the money for Vybz Kartel to come in your country, him not gonna there. You get me I say? So it has been sparking a big debate about who should get this money for shows and who should make more money than Vybz Kartel or who should make close to Vybz Kartel. You get me I say? You understand? So if an artist has been getting 50,000 US for her shows and now more than 200 US because of a Vybz Kartel current negotiation, bro. No, that don't make sense. And as I said before, it depends on the pulling power. There's no way an artist can not have a pulling power and charge so much for a show, especially if that promoter has been booking you from multiple shows and been giving you 50,000, 40,000, and all of a sudden now you want 200,000. The fact that Vybz Kartel is getting 1.5 million USD per shows. You get me? I say it's high in demand. Vybz Kartel has been incarcerated for 13 years, bro. Get me? I say nobody see Kartel only hears music. So the fact that Vybz Kartel can finally be in stage shows, performing live in front of his audience that has been waiting for this moment for so long, there's no way you can take that from him not to say, yo, don't charge this amount of money when his pulling power is one of the biggest pulling powers in dancehall up to this day. You know, man, understand the most people that's alright. Vybz Kartel pulling power is big, yes, but his performance is lame. You get me? So without a doubt, I totally agree with that because, and we have to put the sickness in place. You know, you have grave disease, and there's no way he can perform, or he normally performs at that 100%. You get me? I say we are probably getting 50% now. But the thing with the Vybz Kartel is, as much as he's not performing up to that standard, his music is so high con. His music is so what me look for the right word for use. His music is so um fucking. I can't use bad. His music is so bad that even if he's lip singing, people still want to see him. That's how Vybz Kartel pulling power is so strong, bro. You get me? I say, and there's no way you can book Vybz Kartel for a show and not get your money's worth as much as he's not in that state of performing at his 100 capacity. And imagine if Vybz Kartel was performing, if Vybz Kartel didn't have grave disease, and if Vybz Kartel was performing at that 100 capacity as he normally did, how much money did you think Vybz Kartel is going to charge? Come, think about it. If Vybz Kartel is sick right now, right, and I perform at a fairly good rate, imagine if Vybz Kartel wasn't sick. How much money you think Vybz Kartel will charge? And you think would I be able to book Vybz Kartel? You get me? I say, but as I say, it's a sure money guarantee. You know, if you book Vybz Kartel for a stage show, it definitely are gonna make back your money. You get me? I say, as I say, the pulling power and the Vybz Kartel is high in demand right now. You get me? I say, Vybz Kartel would have come like a new clocks. A new clock just drop everybody go want it. You get me? I say, that is Vybz Kartel right now. And man, is think most dancehall artists should worry about the pulling power. You get me? I say, and you can't expect to sing a one bag of fuckery and expect people overseas for pay a bag of money for so no man. And most of these dancehall artists think say, oh, people are pay for come see them. No. The only way, as Vybz Kartel said before, the only way to really test a pulling power is putting that artist on a stage show by himself. You get me? I say, because most of these artists, they're on multiple. They are not the only one at the stage show. So there's multiple guests at the stage show. There's multiple different artists at the stage show. You get me? I say, and if you want to be on Vybz Kartel level in terms of being paid that amount of money, it's simple mean that's the turn of a game, bro. And I like say Vybz Kartel did this overnight. Vybz Kartel has been running the place from 2000. Vybz Kartel has been running the place from 2000. And this is 25 years later. What do you think they got? If this man can run the place from 2000 straight back to 2025, what do you think about him? What do you think the man will charge them like a monkey money, bro? What do you think him being the MAN right now, he gonna charge some monkey money, especially if he was just released from prison? Come on, bro. You need to rethink that. Dog. Alright, so if every man in Jamaica can have a woman like Spice, the world would be a more better place, bro. Because Spice support Vybz Kartel from the first day him drop of prison till the day that him get released. Spice has been one of the only artists, well, me ever see, I support Vybz Kartel to this level. Even at every stage show, Spice is at, she help promote Vybz Kartel, Free World Boss. That is her number one quote since Vybz Kartel drop out of prison. I'm honestly think say, oh, this is loyalty, bro. This is grateful, love. This is a good hard person, bro. So any man ever woman like Spice in life, dog, with this support system, bro, trust me, you can beat any battle, you can overcome any obstacles, bro. So Spice is one of the most supportive person when it comes to Vybz Kartel. I know most people say, oh, Kartel was the one that boss her, Kartel was the one that do this, Kartel was the one that do that. You get me? I say, but look how much artist Vybz Kartel has ever bossed. Look how much artist Vybz Kartel turned a star. You know, Popcorn being one of them. Popcorn has supported Vybz Kartel. I say, a free Vybz Kartel. Also in majority of his songs. You get me? I say, but as I say, Spice never left for Vybz Kartel, bro. You get me? I say, when you talk about loyalty, you talk about Sean Stan, but when you talk about loyalty when it comes to female, you have to call Spice. Because if every man in a Jamaica did have a support like a Spice, bro, come on, bro, the world would have been a better place, dog. Especially Jamaica would have been a better place. Alright, so if support was a person, it would have definitely be Spice. This is what happens when you have love and respect for your person and put it together, you get Spice.
been supporting him since since him being incarcerated for 13 years. So the fact for see him come out, to see him on stage, because you know I used to walk with his pictures when he was not here. I used to walk around with his pictures and saying free World Boss, free Vybz Kartel. So to have him here live and live in colors, selling out the Barclays back to back, 2 nights in a row. Let's talk about it. It's a big thing. It's not a small thing. So big up the king of dancehall straight. I'm very proud of him. I'm elated. I'm honored. Been supporting him.
No me good. Everybody does a wine and a boom 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 boom. Everybody money ignite. Money make my dream come true.
Alright, so welcome back to another installment. You don't know the procedure. Want to click on this video just to support the channel, give this video a thumbs up. So in this episode we're gonna talk about Vybz Kartel. So apparently Vybz Kartel is still under investigation. You get me? I say for his withdrawal from the Trinidad concert. So the Trinidadian authorities launched a probe into Vybz Kartel US 950,000 payment. So in Jamaica dollars, that is 151 million. So the media in Trinidad are reporting that an investigation has been launched into how the promoters of the One Caribbean Music Festival secure US dollars to pay Jamaican dancehall star Vybz Kartel and other artists. I'm going to read about that again. So the media in Trinidad are reporting that an investigation has been launched into how the promoters of the Caribbean Music Festival secure US dollars to pay Jamaican dancehall star Vybz Kartel and other artists. So the Trinidad Guardian says that acting commissioner of the police confirmed on Tuesday that the Financial Investigation Branch FIB is probing the source method and the timing of the US 950,000 payment to Vybz Kartel. So Benjamin reportedly said while the police have not received any formal report on the matter, they are proceeding with their own investigation. They no more so what money that no? What money that plus the dog give a show up. Alright, so following the disclosure that 950,000 had been paid to Palmer to appear as the main act in May the 31st reggae concert at the Queen Park Savannah Mar. What the fuck I'm just say? At the Queen Park Savannah, the finance minister Devante said he was intrigued by the amount of foreigner exchange that had reportedly changed hands. So Palmer was supposed to have been paid a total of 1.35 million to perform in the show, which also featured other foreign acts including Malidan, Russian, Sizzla Kalonji, and Mali, along with local artists Lady Lava and Ravi B. So Kartel pulled out of his scheduled concert appearance, citing what he said was the promoter's failure to fulfill contractual obligation as a reason for his no-show. Alright, so that's the news of the day, you know. So Vybz Kartel, they are probing an investigation mainly to find out how the promoters got 950,000 US dollars to pay Vybz Kartel to come and perform, and he didn't show up. So that's what's in the news, and I bring it to you guys. You get me, I say? Because as I said, that's a lot of money. 150 million, bro. That is a lot of fucking money. And it was said that he's supposed to get 1.5 million. You know, so they didn't pay the money, Vybz Kartel didn't show up. And I heard that based on the contract that Vybz Kartel signed, he received the money, he received a part payment, but if he didn't get the rest of the payment, he didn't have to show up. So that's how them they say. So we don't know other part they really go, but blood clot a whole money that dog. Imagine one book Vybz Kartel. You have coming out 200 million, bro, for book by boop. You get me, I say? So this is how Vybz Kartel mean, bro. When say yo, you have to have your money for book Vybz Kartel, bro. And there have been a lot of clips on YouTube with Vybz Kartel basically explain what happened. And I say yo, him cut the price all the time because he know the promoter, and yet still the promoter didn't live up to his part of the contract. But as I'm saying, them a proper investigation, bro. And how the promoters got that amount of money to pay Vybz Kartel to come to the show. Me honestly think once I keep a show and there are a lot of artists to be at the show, me think it should be a this close thing. If I'm paying you 200 million to come on my fucking show, nobody nothing know about that. Nobody don't need to know. Nobody needs to know that. But as I said before, if it never did go to this, if it never did go to this extent, where they didn't stand up to their contract, probably nobody would have known. If they did pay Vybz Kartel the money that he should have received, and he came to the show, there would have been any dispute. But the fact that they didn't pay Vybz Kartel is like them run out of money, because if imagine you're paying that man so much money to come perform on a show. Imagine how much you're paying the other suspects them. But they can't really compare them because Vybz Kartel is a giant. The people that mess with Vybz Kartel for 13 years, so that tells you a lot about his price. For you to miss out that amount of time in your career, trust me, the price is going to skyrocket. But come on, promoters. I think every promoter should use this as a perfect example of a bad deal. And apparently the promoter never budget out him thing, bro. Because if the money got done pan Carter, better they make it a Carter show alone. And that would have been more money. So the promoter they fuck up, man, they fuck up. So they're gonna prove an investigation now, and we're gonna wait for the story there. When that story come, we're gonna make you know what to pre. Alright, so we're back with another installment. Speak football, and we're gonna talk about Jamaican national squad in this episode. Alright, so Shamar Nicholson was left out of Jamaican national squad. So Steve McLaren confirmed that Shamar Nicholson would not be a part of Jamaican national squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifier matches. Alright, so first of all, is this the first mistake that Steve McLaren has made for Jamaica? Because Shamar Nicholson is currently the top goal scorer for Jamaica with 54 appearances and 19 goals. You get me, answer? So is this the first mistake Steve McLaren has made as head coach for Jamaica? And trust me, he has been doing a good job. I've been see a total big difference since Steve McLaren has come to Jamaica. You get me? But if Shamar Nicholson is not up to his standard, if in his recent performances he doesn't meet Steve McLaren expectations, I honestly think he is fit to be on the bench then, because he's a good player. And I think that if he's currently the top scorer for Jamaica, he should at least have a chance to be on the bench. Alright, so despite Shamar Nicholson's goal scoring record with the Reggae Boys, head coach Steve McLaren says that the striker isn't currently in a good form last few months. Alright, so the 25-man squad for the final second round of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers against British Virgin Islands and Guatemala starting this week was announced on Tuesday with several stars named. So while the likes of Liam Bailey, Demar Gray and Damian Lowe and Captain Andre Blake have already been named, Nicholson has been left out. 28-year-old who currently plays in Mexico top division hasn't played competitive football since mid-April. So Nicholson joined the club Taijuan from Shakhtar Moscow in Russia, but managed just 9 appearances, scoring 1 goal. So he did play in Jamaica Open Gold Cup qualifier away to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in March, but benched in the second leg for Arnett Ghana striker Werner Brown. So Nicholson is currently Jamaica's leading goal scorer among active players and is 6th of all time with 19 goals with 56 appearances since his debut back in 2017. But however, Arthur McLaren says his form in recent time wasn't good enough to be a part of the present squad. So against St. Vincent, he played the first game and he was, and the majority of people watching the match was disappointed with the performance, he said. We spoke with Shamar and said that he has to play for his club, so since going back to Mexico, he didn't play, he was on the bench and his season finished on the 20th of April, and I think it's maybe starting again in the preseason now, but not starting, so that's quite a break. So we felt the condition of Shamar at this present time wasn't up, and we can't bring him in the camp and get him fit, he said. Alright, so simple quoting error. Coach always base starting a player off their form, right? And if you're not getting any games, coach is not going to start to. And for big players like for France, for big clubs like for France, Germany, Italy, um, Spain, and you know the rest. If the players are not playing at competitive football, they're not going to get called up. If they're not playing at competitive football, look on Anderson for England. When he went to Saudi, he wasn't playing at a competitive level. He had to left Saudi and go to Ajax. And as soon as he went to Ajax, he got called up for the national squad. So basically, it's a coach thing. You know, if you're not playing any games, you're not going to be fit. You're not going to be in form. So basically, that's what Steve McLaren is doing. And as I said before, he has been doing a good job. So who are we now to judge him for what he's doing, or what decisions he's making based on not starting or not calling up Shaman Nicholson? Alright, so Nicholson could also miss out on the CONCACAF Gold Cup later this month, but McLaren says there is still a future for him in the team, but it's up to him. As I said from the beginning, I like Shamar. He's my kind of number 9. He's big, strong, running behind, hold the ball up, score goals, and that's what he got to start doing for his club. He said, why? But and I mean say it's still a Steve McLaren. So without a doubt, this is a big year, big few months coming up. I know he's now working very hard in going back to Mexico and getting some of the form where he may be able to come back in the squad. So midfielder Ravel Morris keeps his place in the squad following the Unity Cup, despite McLaren ruling out his participation due to him playing for the Precision FC in the United Arabic Emir Second Division. So while still of the belief that the league is below par, McLaren says Morrison has proven his value to the squad. Alright, so as I said before, then base it off of where you're playing, as I said before in the video. You get me? I say you have to be playing at the competitive levels. But when it comes to Jamaican players, bro, you cannot compete Jamaican players at the highest level. I'm not saying they are not those type of footballers or they don't meet that standard, but they are not at they're not playing at the highest levels. Liam Bailey is without a doubt one of the players that are playing at the highest level because he's in the English Premier League. You get me? I say most of these Jamaican players, as I said, most of them are good players, but they are not playing at that high level. You know, they're trying to get there, but they are not. So I don't think you should base it off of where they're playing, but more of how they're performing. Alright, so I like his attitude in training. He was good around the young players. He was good around the squad. He brought something different to us, and I've got no hesitation including him for the World Cup qualifiers because he came in and he improved the atmosphere, the quality of training, and the team he set. So against the BVI, we may need a little bit more creative and something that's a little bit different and special. Ravel certainly got that, so we are delighted with that. So as I said before, bro, and as I said before in this video, Steve McLaren kind of bring a different flavor to Jamaica squad. You know, we are used to some other idiot course, we don't even remember them name. But I think Steve McLaren is the man. I think this is the year for Jamaica to make it to the World Cup. It has been a minute, and I think this Jamaica squad can definitely bring us where we want to go. So after being impressed with the team's performance in the Unity Cup last week, McLaren is urging the typical first team players to continue the momentum ahead of the qualifiers. So last week, if you'd seen it off the field, we was a little bit of mayhem, but credited to the players who came through joining in and created great spirit so that what we expected this week when the likes of Liam Bailey, Demar Gray, Mario Williams, Lati Dwalarin, Andre Blake, and Jamali Way, and Tyrese Campbell come into the squad, he said. So as I said before, Tyrese have to be there in the squad, bro. Tyrese, I don't know. Tyrese make a difference in that squad. If you watch Jamaica match, you can say he has make a difference with the decisions that he make on the pitch. The passes that he make. You get me? As I said, Tyrese Maggie make a big difference, bro. So I'm glad that Steve McLaren see the talent and included him in the squad. So we want them to raise the bar. That's what we said last week, and this is what we'll say this week. We have to raise the bar to get close to US, Mexico, and Canada. English-born Tyrese Campbell, winger for Charlton Athletic, is the only known name in the squad. 5 local-based players also made the cut, including Cavaliers' Ricardo King and Dwayne Atkinson. So Brentford Ethan Pinnock, Leicester City Robbie Reed, and Sheffield Wednesday Deshaun Bernard are coming among the notable absents. So McLaren's men play away to BVI on Saturday before hosting Guatemala on Tuesday at the National Stadium. Jamaica are currently in the pole position to make it to the final round of the qualifying as they sit on second of the Group E on the 6 points with top 2 Guatemala at the spot. Alright, so as I said before, bro, we're up and ready, bro. We're up and ready. This is our year. And this is the lineup. This is the lineup for those matches. Alright, so let's start off with the defenders. Demarillo, Ricardo King, Cale Ming, Dexter Labiscascator, I don't know what kind of name is that. Amari Bell, Lee, Mace Olgate, Joe Lintabodudu. So midfielders, Isaac Hayden, Casey Palmer, Gabriel Morrissey, John Russell, Dwayne Atkinson. Forward, Liam Bailey, Demarai Gray, Cephas, Chaim Dixon, Wayne Brown, Omar Burrell, Tyrese Campbell, and Romario Williams. So those are the 24-man squad that's going to compete at the qualifiers. I'm wanting to comment below if you know this fan video who you guys think should have been a part of the squad and who you think should not be a part of the squad. Alright, so Ronaldo fires Portugal into the National League final with a win over Germany. Bro, imagine having a 40-year-old player that goes by the name Cristiano Ronaldo playing like he's in his 30s, and he was the one that sent you guys to the finals. So Cristiano Ronaldo is set to return to another major tournament final after scoring the winner for Portugal in their comeback 2-1 semi-final victory over Germany in the National League Cup. Germany? Bro, come on, bro. Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest player to ever kick a football. A 40-year-old man, a 4-0, if some of you don't get it, send Portugal to the finals after beating Germany. It's not like that. And I like so they beat a small side. It's Germany. With the likes of Witz, with the likes of Kimmich, with the likes of Sane. You get me? I say Goretzka, Adeyemi. Bro, so there's Kinabri, Ta as the defender. Bro, so come on, bro. Bro, Cristiano Ronaldo is the man, bro. Cristiano Ronaldo is the MAN. Imagine 2 great sides playing, right? In a semi-finals. You have Germany and you have Portugal. And out of those 2 sides, you have a player that is 40 years old. He scored the winning goal. He get the man in the match. He was the outstanding performer on the field. He was the winner. Yo, I don't even know what else to say, bro. Cristiano Ronaldo is the greatest, bro. 7 shots, 2 shots on target, bro. You get me? I say this man. This is the MAN, man. This is the MAN. It was a brilliant performance against Germany. And you know, tomorrow, the other half of the semi-finals is going to be against Spain and France. I remind you, Spain is my side, so you know it's Spain and Portugal finals. And as much as Cristiano Ronaldo is the MAN, Spain is my side. You get me? I'm saying, and I'm no wagonist. So let's see how that goes. I didn't even want to predict that, bro. I not even want to predict that. But let's see how that goes. Let's see how Spain is gonna play against Portugal. Alright, so football superstar Raheem Sterling has seemingly confirmed his exit from Premier League giants Arsenal, signaling a likely Chelsea return as his